Hey, this is Booker T, WWE Hall of Famer, and you're listening to The Week in Geek on WRNO. Now, can you dig that, sucker?
Welcome back in to The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I am your host, D Squared. All right, let's go to the guest line. It has been about 2 years since we last spoke with this gentleman, and I am so excited because he's not aware of this. But last time we spoke, we talked about his book, Buddy Burger, Lights, Camera, Danger, had come out, Alien Superstar, and he shared a wonderful anecdote with me. And with that anecdote and our interview, I won my first ever Louisiana Association of Broadcasters Award. Take a listen to this, Henry.
The next award is for radio for the best interview. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2021 best interview goes to Large Market, WRNO-FM, Henry Winkler on The Week in Geek with D Squared.
Henry, how are you doing?
Holy mackerel. Oh, my God. So what does that mean? Does that mean that we share that every 6 months? It's in my house, then in 6 months it's in your house?
That is exactly correct. And I didn't get your number last time, so I've just been holding it for you. So I guess you've accumulated about a year with the trophy. So, because it's been 2 years.
Oh, my God. But first of all, let me just say, no joking aside, congratulations. Because when you think about how many thousands and thousands of interviews are done every year, and that it should be plucked out of that and it should be recognized, that is an amazing thing.
Well, thank you, Henry. Thank you so much. And it was because you were such a wonderful guest. You were so easy to talk to. But before you came on air with me, we were just kind of, just having a wonderful conversation. You're a great conversationalist. And it was a wonderful time we had because I have a 9-year-old and a 16-year-old. I guess they were 7 and 14 back then. But your Buddy Burger stories, you've got the third one came out, last year or so?
Yes, that's
the
right.
Alien Superstar Hollywood versus the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about, first off, you know what? Let me pump the brakes here a bit. The reason we're talking today is because you're coming to New Orleans for the Fan Expo, January 6th through the 8th at the Montreal Convention Center. Are you finally back from COVID now? We're all back together again?
You know what? I have to say that we, Stacy and I, were really careful. And because we were careful, we were able to visit with our family on the front lawn of our house here in L.A.
Nice.
We would have dinners together. We would put out blankets, and all of my kids and their kids had a blanket, and they had their own bowls of guacamole.
Ooh.
And now we're venturing out, and this is going to be my very first Comic-Con in 3 years.
Wow.
And what better city than the city that I was the king of Bacchus?
You were. That's great. Yeah, because New Orleans is the perfect like tourist destination, but also for these big events because there's a hotel around every corner. So for these major events, you could be down there in the midst of everything as it's going on, and everything's a short 2-minute walk from pretty much everywhere. And Mardi Gras is just around the corner now, too. I can't even believe that. It's just Mardi Gras is almost here. It's kind of crazy.
I still have my doubloons.
So, well, and my dad used to be an Endymion. That's the other super crew along with Bacchus and Orpheus. And, it's a lost art, the collection of doubloons, because people have kind of gone away from the old school where the doubloons, you tried to get a set because there would be at least like 4 different colors to complete the set. But nowadays, more people are just kind of interested in catching, blinky things and swords and spears and all those things that they throw.
Oh, right. And we also threw, I was like a mile high on my float with in gold lame, throwing doubloons and necklaces, and it was the party of a lifetime.
We are visiting with Henry Winkler. He'll be here in New Orleans January 6th to the 8th at the Montreal Convention Center for Fan Expo. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, Henry, is last time we spoke, you had the new children's book for Buddy Berger, but you're telling me also that you have another new children's book coming out. And, sidebar, you are also a New York Times bestselling author with your partner. Talk about the new book.
Well, Lynn Oliver and I, we first started in 2003. And because I couldn't get hired as an actor.
Okay.
So I had to do something.
Right.
And somebody said, write these books. And I said, I can't because I'm learning challenged.
Right.
And what I realized, we have written 39 novels together, Lynn Oliver and I.
Goodness gracious.
And they're all about... I am so sorry. I have a frog in my throat the size of the pond it lives in. But we realized that all the kids we write about are on the outside looking in. They're all a little different. They have a challenge of some sort. And this newest book called Detective Duck.
Detective Duck. I like it.
It is about a little duckling who had a very strong start in life. Her egg floated down the stream, got caught in a beaver's den, in a beaver's dam.
Okay.
And the beaver came out and took care of the egg and became the duck's father. And this little duckling has a dream. All she wants is to be a detective. And her best friend, the salamander, said, you can do anything you want to do. And it is their adventure. There are 2 installments of Detective Duck. The first one comes out in 1 year.
Okay. And you've already got the second book already ready, waiting in the wings?
Yes. And they, what is incredible is that they're really based in environmental thoughts.
Okay.
Something is happening to their beautiful pond. And the detective, the little duckling, has to figure out how to keep their pond safe.
That is awesome. And Henry, with Zipzer, that character is sort of based on you. You said the learning challenges that you've kind of surmounted throughout your entire life. So what is your connection with Detective Duck? Because I know Buddy Berger, you had some feelings of being an outsider as well, and so you put parts of your personality and life into these. So what's the connection with Detective Duck and yourself?
Well, I found that you write what you know.
Right.
There's not a secret to that. You write what you know, and you tell a story that you want to hear, not what you think somebody else wants to hear. And this little girl, this little duckling, is all of us. She is tenacious. She's funny. She's resourceful. She is. She takes care. She is loyal to her friends. She loves her dad, and she wants to take care of the most important thing in the universe, the planet.
There you go. That is awesome. Henry Winkler is our guest. He'll be in town January 6th to the 8th at the Montreal Convention Center for Fan Expo.
Can I just say,
yes,
David, this is one of my favorite things because I get to meet people I would never normally get to see.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I'm only half the equation. I wanted to be an actor. I'm an actor. I do Barry. People like it. I did Happy Days. People like it. And now I get to meet those people who watch me. And it's so warm and wonderful, I can't tell you.
And this is one of the things where like I grew up doing like the small circuit sort of conventions here in New Orleans where it was just kind of like, people who played video games or loved Star Trek. There wasn't like these big names. It was
Right.
community though. It was our fellow nerds. We'd all get together. There was a time where you couldn't find a nerdy t-shirt anywhere. You could only go to these conventions to find them. And so now it's blossomed into what it is today. And I got to say, like, being able to meet the actors like yourself and just for a short little 2 minutes to say, hi, I loved your work in XYZ. But has there ever been someone who's come up to you and sort of shared a character of yours that maybe helped them through a dark place? Because I know a lot of times people, they look to the TV and movies for, inspiration or escape. And sometimes it has a very profound effect on anybody. Has anybody shared some of those
You know what?
effects?
All through the years, since 1974, people have come to me in so many languages, in so many countries, and they have said, the Fonz helped me learn English.
Wow.
The Fonz helped me learn how to be cool, or which I translated into how to be social.
Okay.
The Fonz taught me how to be friends. I would go home and I was a latchkey kid, and the Cunninghams and the Fonz, they were my family.
Wow.
The books, Hank Zipser, I didn't know. I just wrote what I knew, so I wrote about my learning challenges, that I had a really tough time in school. I just couldn't get school at all. And kids come up to me and they say, how did you know who I was? How did you know me so well?
That's awesome.
And then parents say to me, my kid, I walked by their bedroom and they were laughing, reading a book. That was the first book they ever read in their life.
Wow.
That's something. David, that is something.
That is awesome. That's a wonderful story. Now, Henry, one last thing before we wrap up. You got your Emmy Award for Barry. And
yes, it's right in front of me.
Shut up. Well, I'll have to mail you the LAB Award, too, to put it next to it. But your Emmy Award, I mean, it's like, how many times have you been nominated? And I guess, talking about perseverance and stuff, I mean, this was, I mean, you had to reinvent yourself and to come back with Barry. And I mean, man, like, you're everywhere these days.
You know
everywhere.
What you are saying is the essence of being alive. I wanted to be an actor. I did this big character, the Fonz. People didn't want to hire me after the Fonz because they said, oh, well, we're going to just know you as the Fonz.
Right.
And I thought, that is crazy. And so you go off on these tangents. This is what I learned. You don't know what you can accomplish until you try. And the other thing is, there is never the right time. You're not waiting. I'm going to do that, but I'm going to wait down the road. Now is you just do it. You just start. Put one foot in front of the other, and then they get to talk to you on the phone like I am now.
That look, and I've told this to several people so many times. But when I got my start in radio, I'm technically a newbie at this. I've been doing it for 10 years. This show in May will be 10 years old.
Wow! Congratulations!
Well, thank you. And I had no clue what I was doing, Henry. Like zero clue. There was a little.
Did you have fun?
I loved it. I was a theater brat growing up. I was a vocal major in college, and
right.
When I had my first son, I had to put everything away and just kind of focus on that. But I missed performing, and I got hooked on talk radio of all things after Katrina because it was our only source of information, and I was just hooked. And the ability to kind of crack a mic for 45 minutes and just solidly speak to an audience, but I would always try to entertain because if it wasn't news, if it wasn't sports or politics, it wasn't on the radio. So I made my little niche of talking video games, comic books, and movies and entertainment, and it's just fun because it's like I get to, give give people some relief from all the politics and sports and all the other things that haunt people's dreams at night.
Yes, right,
and just
right.
entertain. And it's been such a wonderful outlet for me as well, because, just being able to have this outlet has been wonderful. So,
but here's the thing. I agree with you 100%. And that is why Comic-Cons are so great. I'm only half the equation.
Right.
You and I are half. If people don't listen, we don't exist. If people don't tune in, we don't exist. So the fact of the matter is, I mean, as a performer, so the fact of the matter is that I get to meet those people that helped me build the house I'm in, put the food on the table I eat, send my kids to the schools they went to.
That's amazing. Henry, when you're here January 6th to the 8th at the Fan Expo at the Montreal Convention Center, I'm going to bring your award. We got to take a picture together because
I look forward to that, David.
Both our names are on there, which is so awesome too, because it's like D squared of the Week in Geek with Henry Winkler. I'm just like,
you know what? I'm very proud to be on your award. I really am.
Well, Henry, thank you so much for everything that you've done and keep doing, cranking out books, entertaining people, and just being such a wholesome and wonderful guy. I mean, yeah, it's refreshing to meet somebody who's just a person. You're a guy, and I love that. And Henry, thank you so much for your time today, and I wish you the greatest success moving forward. What's next on the docket for you? What do you got sitting in the wings right now?
Well, you know what? We just finished the 4th season of Barry on HBO. And it's jaw-dropping. And that will come, I think, toward this coming spring.
That is awesome. Well, Henry, I look forward to seeing you at the Fan Expo January 6th through the 8th. And have a wonderful rest of your day, sir.
The best to you, and I'm so happy we got to chat.
There we go. All right, that was awesome, Henry. Thank you so much. I truly do appreciate it. You were just a genuine.
Congratulations to you.
Well, thank you. It was my first award too, and it was so funny because I never thought I would win a freaking award. I'm just like I'm doing my thing. I'm staying in my lane. I know people listen to the show. I've actually got legit Nielsen numbers, and I'm just like what? I'm content. And sometimes you don't want to put in for an award because it's just like, what if I don't win? Like mentally I'm in a good place. If I lose, I'm going to be like, oh, I suck.
No, I mean, I can't tell you how many times they call my name and my tush never leaves the seat.
Yeah, and it's true. It's wonderful to have just been nominated, but dadgummit, winning is pretty darn special.
I know. Hey, listen, you know what? You feel that, isn't it great to be nominated? Oh, the people I'm nominated with, they're all so terrific. All of that goes out the window as soon as you sit down in the hall and they start calling names.
Yeah, sweating bullets, like, oh my gosh, is this going to happen? And it was funny because that award season, it was all remote. Like the audio I pulled was because they were streaming the award ceremony because nobody could get together for the award ceremony.
Right.
That was great too, because now all of a sudden my phone starts blowing up, from all my coworkers who are watching, like, oh, OMG, you did it. I'm like, I was dumbfounded. I'm just like, I can't.
No, that's great.
That's great. So, Henry, thank you so much.
Do my best to your boys.
Will do. My little guy Dean's out there, and he's enjoyed the Buddy Burger series. It cracks me up, man. He really has enjoyed it.
I'm going to have my books with me at the convention.
That is awesome. Yeah. All right, well, Henry, I will see you in just a short week or so. Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
The best. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. That was the incomparable Henry freaking Winkler. Oh, my God, that dude is just so nice. All right, this is The Week in Geek with D Squared on iHeartRadio.